In this video, we want to show how we're changing the way we recommend people care for their lawn, using lime, some organic fertilizer, and also touch on chemical fertilizer. Yeah, Mike, what's the major changes that we experienced in lawn care?
The major change was one time people were depending on things like 2,4-D, weed and feed, to control weeds in the lawn. Today that option is just not available. So today we have a different method. We're using, in this case, lime, at a bit more lime than people are used to give us a higher pH, which today is your main method of weed control.
It'd be true that some weeds are eliminated just by having the pH a little higher. You know, it may encourage some weeds, but it discourages more than it encourages.
There's only 3 or 4 weeds that I'm familiar with that are comfortable with pHs up approaching the 7 range. Most weeds prefer the acid soil, so if you get your pH up high enough, it really works well in controlling the weeds. It usually means 2 applications a year apart to get your pH up to that range. And then what's different is you don't lime necessarily every year. You may go a couple of years and then you're going to lime a little heavier again. So it's just a different way of approaching it.
So moving from lime, then stepping into one of the natural organic type fertilizers, which are where the industry and people are going. What would you have to say, Mike, about maybe the alfalfa product?
Some people today just use organic products. You have a choice. You can use chemical fertilizers, you can use organic fertilizers, or a combination of both. Where organic fertilizers such as alfalfa play an important part is that they develop soil structure, where the living things like the bacteria and fungus and things right up to worms that make for good soil, that makes plants happy, they need organic material in order to establish and grow. And chemical fertilizer won't do that for you. So it's really important you boost the organics in lawns today, especially because we're not treating lawns the same as we used to.
The prices of organics have gone down in recent times, but the benefit of going and switching to organics is you can get your lawn to a point where you're not adding. You don't have to add as often. Once you get the organics built up.
It takes a little bit of a little more, let's say, use of organics for a few years, but once you develop that soil structure, then you're backing off then to just what I call a maintenance level. Alfalfa is a very good method of doing that. There are a number of good composts around the market that also work well. Alfalfa works well because it has tricontinol in it, which mimics good soil structure, which lets plants like grass uptake the nutrient that's already there.
One of the things I tell people is that alfalfa is the farmer's crop. He grows alfalfa green and plows it under. So this is in a pellet form. It's so much easier to apply, and you're not going to plow up your lawn every year. So you add this as a mixture.
That's right. Now, there are other forms of organic material you can use. I'm moving into some that are probably a little stronger now. These are good to use where you say got a lawn in a very bad condition. You're trying to boost your nutrient as well as to get some organics into it. So they have a particular application. Our staffs generally are able to advise you what's best in your particular situation if we know something about your lawn.
We're talking about lawns, but it also applies to vegetable gardens and flower beds and perennial borders as well.
We use some of these same products in vegetable gardens.
Yeah.
And flower gardens. So.
That's right. Now, if we were to switch over a little further down the line here, we start to talk about some of the organic, I shouldn't say organic, we're changing over to some of the chemical fertilizers. And you would probably gather when you talk to Mike, he's all about promoting the organic side of fertilizers, where these ones are chemical. Now, your area coverage is larger, and we don't like to waste breath. If you're used to using a good quality chemical fertilizer, and having good results, then by all means stick with it. But this is another option.
This is an option. And again, like this is what people are used to in a lot of situations. I have a rule of thumb. If you use fertilizer once a year, the most important time of year to fertilize is in the fall. If you're going to use fertilizer more than that, I recommend spring and fall. If possible, try to get some organics on in between that period of time, because the chemical fertilizers don't help in terms of building up the organic structure, which is probably the most important thing you're going to do. If you're starting a new lawn, it's important you use a product that's going to develop root structure. And that's not available today in most of the fertilizers. Phosphate's been removed from the marketplace. But for new grass, it's very important you use something like a starter fertilizer
to get the lawn established, and then you can go on even to switch to an organic treatment,
organic or chemical, or
chemical.
You have
either combination.
That's right.
Would work.
You have other choices.
You can tell by the packaging that these packages cover a much larger area than you get with the organic. So you're applying more volume when you put the organic treatment together than you do when you're working with a product like Scott's and
it's
a simple.
It's a good
package.
product as far as the chemical fertilizers go.
Yeah.
Probably it's one of the Cadillacs, and from my opinion, in the marketplace.
It's in a slow release form, and it's designed to promote top growth. It's it's mostly you're giving nitrogen, but it's really going to make a real lush lawn if you use it as directed. It'll make a beautiful lawn for you. One of the things that I recommend for people is about timing. Everybody wants to know when to do it. Organics you can put on in the spring, and they don't dilute and dissolve, and you don't lose your fertilizer. If you're using a chemical fertilizer, I say that you should look at the lawn starting to turn green. It comes out from under the snow green, turns brown for a bit. When there's a flush of green, then it's ready to uptake fertilizer.
That's right.
So it's as far as the timing goes, if you're building a good organic lawn, you can start as soon as you can walk around on your lawn without cutting in or damaging it.
Yep. And you can put organics on through the year, preferably just before a rain.
Yeah.
Rain helps, whether you're putting on a chemical fertilizer or lime or an organic fertilizer. Rain helps
to carry it down
into the soil.
Yeah, perfect.
Very important.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. The one danger you have if you were to use a chemical fertilizer too early and got a lot of rain, it might lose its part of its benefit.
The important thing when it comes to using chemical fertilizers, something we all tend to do is when the directions say use this much, that more is better. When it comes to chemical fertilizers, that's not the case. It's very important you follow the directions. If you overuse it, use it too often or put too much on at a time, you're going to do damage. Organic fertilizers, on the other hand, you've got a lot more tolerance with them.
You can put it on, freely, and it will break down over a period of time.
It's going to break down.
And they'll get their benefit from it. Where you could actually burn a strip in your lawn.
Yeah.
I've seen lawns that had strips through them where somebody put fertilizer on at a heavy rate. And
the organic fertilizers, for the most part, take longer to work, but you have benefit over time. It doesn't just, green things up now. It's going to work to improve soil structure over time.
Yeah.
Whereas chemical fertilizer, you put it on, it's going to work faster. At some point, it's gone, and you've got to do something else.
I hope that helps you get an idea of applying fertilizer. And if you want more information, just hit the button and subscribe to our channel. We try to give you as much information as possible, but it's knowing how to use it more so than or at least choosing the right product, I should say. And we're here to help you.